Hello everyone, welcome to rawlesims. It's me, Rolf, and today we're doing a little bit of a speed build. Technically it's a speed renovation. This place, as you saw for like half a second there at the very beginning, this was a bakery that I built when Get to Work came out for the Sims in my sort of original Sims 4 LP, the Marshall family, containing two sisters, Dee Dee and Danny. Danny is a master chef, and so of course I wanted to get her into the baking skills, so she had a little bakery that she owned. I didn't play with it that much on camera, but, you know, Dine Out came, and then I was like, oh my goodness, now obviously I should be playing this bakery as a restaurant. So, yeah, that's what I decided to do. So yeah, technically a renovation, but really, I mean, there wasn't much to the place before. I mean, to be fair, there's not much to it in the end, but there's more to it than there was. So yeah, this is me. One thing that becomes painfully clear throughout the course of this build is that the reason I don't do a lot of builds or record them or what have you is that I am painfully indecisive when it comes to building things. Oh, what was that? I don't know if you guys can see that. Got a little weird there. Anyway, I am right now putting the kitchen in order. Obviously, I had to get the two new stove things in there. I used the ones that were in the kitchen, like the interior ones. There's one that goes into the wall, but I didn't use that one just because it didn't really fit with what I wanted to go for with this place. And yeah, this is another thing you'll see me do is that, you know, I put down some stuff in the kitchen. The kitchen is nowhere near finished. But then I just go and I'm like, oh, I'll go and mess with things out back and remove the door. But then realize that there is no other door that I like there. So I will put the exact same door back. And I'll mess with fences for a while. I mean, I liked most of this fence with the barbed wire on the top. Sort of didn't make any sense. So I went with the jail fence. I kept looking for like a fence that wasn't this like jail fence that looked as good as the other one, just without like barbed wiriness, but there were none. So then I changed the colors and then I changed it back because sure. Yeah, this is the things I do. Moving around trash cans because I feel like thinking about the kitchen. You'll see that a lot where I'll be doing, you know, something and then I will not want to think about it anymore. So I'll just go do something completely different and kind of, basically irrelevant. I mean, let's be honest. Basically something that is not all that important or a main feature, and I'll spend a bunch of time messing with that. But yeah, so here I was trying to figure out windows for the kitchen. Before I had the one big window that was sort of like, you can see in where they're baking all the fresh, delicious food. I mean, the fresh, delicious baked goods, that's what they sell here. But I felt like, I don't know, I didn't really want that one window anymore for the kitchen, especially because I changed the size of it, and you saw I made the walls taller, and then I didn't want to mess with the windows, and so I went and removed things from the walls in the main room. Yeah. And here I was just playing with the brick. I don't think I use any of this, actually. Do I use this one? I honestly don't. I don't remember. I straight up do not remember if I use this brick. But yeah, I'm still just avoiding, like, really doing anything to the actual interior of the kitchen. So I play with the roof here. Spoiler alert, it ends up being exactly the same as it was before. I mess with it, and then I make it exactly the same. See, right here, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll turn this one this way. And then I immediately hate it. And I think I turn it back, like, pretty soon. Yeah, here I am, like, okay, I'm gonna mess with some more windows and things. I don't feel like messing with the kitchen. I don't feel like crunching. I actually really like those windows that I do. Those windows are the ones that I end up using. That whole set from Get Together. That are sort of the, and here's me turning the roof back exactly the way it was before. Ah, yes, time well spent. But, yeah, I really like those windows from Get Together on this build. What I was going for, which will be much more apparent, once I get to the interior and the main dining room, is a really sort of very pokey kind of remind you of, like, I don't know, like your old grandma's sort of very, kind of over the top, cluttered sort of house where she has all this stuff and it's all very, very precious. I will tell you right now, this place is so pastel pink. Oh my god, it's just like pastel pink from top to bottom. It's a lot, but it was what I was going for. I wanted it to look a very specific way, to evoke a very specific thing, and I think I did that well enough. Yes, the door hunt. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I actually do change the doors after I go on the great door hunt. Yeah, to that one. Yeah, I thought that looked better. Here I'm looking around for other things to mess with so I don't have to go back into the kitchen. And then I go back into the kitchen. I didn't like the fridge sort of partially covering one of the windows, so obviously I had to move that. Don't ask me why the fridge is the fridge too, but the kitchen is like orange for some reason. I don't know why, it just is. I think it was like that before and I just didn't change it. I figured, this is a renovation, technically. I mean, they basically built an entirely new building, but maybe they figured, hey, the kitchen can keep its same color scheme. Okay, right here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to plan out the sort of reception area of the restaurant. My immediate idea was that obviously, originally, as I mentioned, Danny, one of the two Marshall sisters in my Sims 4 LP, she was a master chef. Her sister, Dee Dee, however, was a writer, and she wrote romance novels. So their bakery, at the bakery, there was a table, that very same table that I pulled out right there, and I'm now moving things off of. They had a table that was sort of her books that they would sell, and so the bakery was called, of course, actually, it was called Sweets and Spice, and I have no idea why I called it that instead of Sugar and Spice, but I changed it later on in this video. But yeah, of course it was called, Sweets and Spice or Sugar and Spice. So, I wanted to maintain that. So the whole sort of reception waiting area is, sort of book themed. And it's sort of like you sit there and you pick up and you read some, saucy romance novels while you're waiting to be seated to get some delicious baked goods up in ya. But here, all of this completely changes. Those chairs, I do use those chairs eventually, but none of this stays here. I'm just trying to sort of arrange it in a way that I think could work. And I had sort of blocked this area off over here. This is going to be, where I had the hostess. And I kept the little display case because, a lot of times if you go to places, a restaurant, and, they are a full sit-down restaurant, but if they are known for like their desserts or something like that, they will have a part of the restaurant where they will sell, the desserts as take-homes. And so obviously this is very specifically a dessert restaurant where they don't serve anything but desserts. Clearly they're going to have a way for you to, buy desserts directly from them and take them home. So that's what I was making over here. I realized pretty soon, first of all, that I hate this. And second of all, that it makes no sense for me to shove the whole little book area, waiting, sitting space into the smaller side of, the smaller segment, to the smaller, God, the room is divided by the door, and obviously the side over there on the right is smaller when you have to put it on that side of the door than the side I was using. And so I tried to put more room, and then I had to mess with this window, and I was like, no, I just want that there. And then I'll just move these things over to the other side, and it makes sense. That was probably incoherent, but, you can see it, so you understand probably what I'm saying. So then I make a much smaller little sort of hostess cash register type area. And then I move all this stuff over here where it fits much better. It is still not remotely like it's going to be, but, it's getting there. It's getting there. I do not use that wicker chair in the end. I wanted to, but then I was like, no. So I have those bookcases, and I'm like, wait, why wouldn't the bookcase be in the corner? I do that a lot, yeah. Indecisive. Just moving chairs around forever. and ever. And ever. I do stay with this arrangement, I believe. That rug doesn't stay like that. No. It undergoes much change, but that arrangement is generally how it goes. So yeah, then I was like, I want some dividers here because, you know, you need something to section this off from the dining area. Obviously, I don't keep those dividers. They make no sense with the rest of the decor of the restaurant. But that's how I furnish, actually. I actually really enjoy furnishing, even though when I'm doing it, I'm constantly, do I have to do all these rooms and things? But yeah. I actually enjoy doing it, and the way that I do it, as you can see, is that I just kind of fill everything up with sort of placeholders, or the things that I sort of, like, I put things sort of kind of where I want them, I'm envisioning them being, and then I go back and I go over everything, and then add details and make everything look actually good, instead of just kind of being like, okay, I want chair here, you know, rug here, etc. So yeah, here are some of those little shelves from Get to Work. For the baked goods, I do not keep those two there. I eventually put some more dining room seating thereabouts. And yeah, here is the great table selection. So I do actually end up using 3 different kinds of tables. Actually, I guess technically like 5, because I have the 2 longer tables too. And I don't know, it added for me to the sort of general sense of the place. Like I said, it's supposed to be very kind of your pokey old grandma's, you know, place. You ever see stuff where it's like, and this is, you know, this old person's, you know, house, and it's like completely stuffed with all kinds of like very sort of eclectic antique furniture kind of a thing. It's a little bit of that. So that's why I use different tables. I was going to use those chairs from movie hangout stuff. I actually really love those chairs. The patterns are so loud, but I actually tend to like loud things. But I couldn't convince myself that it looked as good as these sort of pastel pink chairs. So I used them for everything, and here I am figuring out the arrangement of the tables, and then I got tired of figuring that out, and I was like, I'm just gonna make the bathrooms now. And yeah, so I cut down that space that I cut out for the bathroom because it was way too big, and I'm about to cut it down again pretty soon because I was planning on like a male and female stall, and then like the sort of hand washing and everything area, but then, you know, I could just put the sinks in with the toilet, so it didn't really make any sense. So it got even smaller, and so now it's tiny, and it fits. And I think this is when I'm like going through, and I literally do the entirety of the bathrooms before I go back to the dining area. I'm pretty sure I do, yeah. Yeah, and I changed that to white, because I don't know about you guys, but the other, like, versions of that toilet, they all look kind of dirty to me, and they look sort of, like, dingy and off. I don't know what it is. It's not that I have any, I like the sort of brown, or the wooden toilet seat, but, yeah. Here I am, looking for stuff to put on the walls. Oh, yeah, there was a cut here because, yeah, I think I was trying to find something. I don't know what I was trying to find. I don't remember at this point, but I couldn't find it. And I thought, well, maybe it's only around if you have this set as a restaurant, because previously this was still set as a retail store. And so I changed it, and so that's why you see the staff stuff pop up and everything. But I don't know what it was that I was looking for, and I don't think I ever found it. But, you know, whatever. I made do. And I was looking for, you know, a generically pleasant picture to put on the bathroom wall. And there was nothing more generically pleasant than, like, those little yellow flowers. And, of course, I put in a big towel. In my mind, that towel is just decorative because, wow, it would be super gross to use a towel, an actual, like, non-disposable towel in a public restroom. I can't even... Oh my god, it will be so disgusting. And so unsanitary. It's so bad for you. Good Lord. The things that would be growing in those towels. But it fit the look because it's supposed to look like, your grandma's, fancy guest bathroom. And I love those little trash bins that I put in there from the kids stuff pack. They are very useful. I changed their colors to slightly color code the bathrooms in a little bit. And I was looking for something to put on that one blank wall, but in the end I don't actually put anything on it because I'm like, okay, who's ever going to see that wall? And frankly, it's a bathroom. It does not need to be that extensively decorated. So I put in those little bathroom mats, and then I did a very pastel, very light, pink and blue. I personally am not that into the gender binary, but, it's the look of this place. It all fits with that. So yeah, then I put in this big table. Since the bathroom was much smaller, I could fit, the full 8-seater over there. So I figured, why not? Even though I have played restaurants a fair amount since Dine Out came out, and I'm pretty sure I have never seen a NPC party of 8 Sims ever come into a restaurant. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've never seen more than like 3 or 4, which is interesting. But yeah, only time I've ever seen more than like 4 Sims, or even 4, I'm thinking, because I'm trying to remember a time, maybe I've seen 4, but I've certainly never seen more than 4. I'm trying to, the only time I've ever seen more than that is, when I myself have been playing and taking my Sims to a restaurant. Yeah, so here's the replacement of the rug over there, because it needed to be not what it was, which was a tiny runner. I do like that little, and I changed that last chair, because it was like, why is that one chair not matching? Why? And I do like that little trunk sort of coffee table there. Again, that fit the aesthetic that I was going for, and here's me, and I love that chair. I would actually love to own that wicker chair. But I had to accept that I couldn't use it. It didn't quite fit. So, yeah, this isn't loud. Like, the place isn't loud like that chair is. I could get away with the other 3 chairs from the movie Hangout stuff because they are ultimately just white and pastel pink, which is sort of the color theme of the whole dining room. But that wicker chair, it wasn't working. So I put in some waiter stations. I always like to keep the waiter stations in the kitchen. When I do, and I turned them orange too. Again, I for some reason was so married to the orange kitchen. I don't really know why. I still don't. But I committed to it. So there it is. And so I moved these back because I was worried about the hostess being able to get back there, or host, but it ended up being a hostess when I actually staffed the place. So yeah, here I am changing the dividers to these much more, and I keep saying it, grandma's housey little thingums here. I mismatched them because, again, it fit the sense of the place. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's supposed to look fussy. A little bit fussy, a little bit like someone had a bunch of stuff and that they've been keeping, and they sort of put it all out there. Playing around for stuff to put on there. I really, really, really love that tray with the water pitcher that came with Get to Work. I'm not Get to Work with Dine Out, but it doesn't sit on anything. Like, why doesn't it sit on coffee tables? Like, it doesn't sit on coffee tables. Pretty sure it doesn't sit on counters. I think literally the only thing it sits on is like an actual table. I'm pretty sure, like an actual dining table. I might be wrong, but I know I've tried to sit that thing on so many places where I'm like, why can't this go here? Why can't this go here? Why can't this go here? And it just never goes. So then I jumped back to this kitchen because I didn't feel like detailing the dining room anymore. So I jumped back to the kitchen and I started detailing the kitchen and putting some stuff in. And then I felt like I was running into a sad lack of like kitchen-y stuff, which was bad. Like, their stuff came with Dine Out, but I mean, there's not a lot of stuff that actually fits a bakery or a place that only serves desserts. Like, I mean, even some of the stuff I put in there, I put that one like big jar of olives, but like, why would there be why would there be olives? Like, what baked good are you making that you're putting olives in? But, you know, you gotta work with what you have. With what you have. I think I actually go back and put some more stuff in the kitchen. Like, and I didn't record it. I did it, like, afterwards. But I think it might be in the screenshots, probably. So, yeah, here's me messing with the curtains. So, obviously, I had to use that loud pink print. But, obviously, I didn't use it on every window. You know, I went back to the pastel pink, which actually, it's interesting for me because a lot of times in The Sims, obviously, anybody who has decorated anything in The Sims 4 knows that it can be hell to get things to match. It was actually shocking to me the amount of things in The Sims 4 that were pastel pink. And they weren't all from, like, the same packs or anything. It's just so weird to me that of all the colors that tons of things could be, I would be able to make an entire restaurant with stuff from various packs and everything would be pastel pink. Like, I don't even understand how that happened. But yeah, so here I am detailing the dining room, putting some rugs under all the little seating areas so it can feel like, you know, it's, you know, like it's the kitchen, you know, it's someone's kitchen, not, you know, something. I do not use those hot pink rugs. They did not work. And you'll notice I had changed the color on that middle table with the pink runner. I had changed the color of the rug because originally I changed the color of the chairs. I made the chairs white, but then that was too much pink. Because it was too much pink, and I didn't want the chairs and the rug to be pink. Then I made the rug white, but I think I actually changed the rug again. Yeah, this is just me fiddling with things. Like, that's all the rest of this is. And I'm not gonna leave the runners there. I'm actually end up using circular ones under those tables over there, and the runners under the two-seaters. Then I put that one there. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I really love that table, though. That one table with the pink sort of sash, whatever that is, on it. Yeah, that is a custom content rug because often when I build, I will try to just use like actual regular game content when I'm building stuff like restaurants and things like that. I don't know why. I mean, obviously I have the custom content, but I guess just in case I want to upload it to the gallery or something. But I mean, eventually I always get frustrated and I'm like, okay, whatever. I need rugs that aren't terrible. So yeah, I use the custom content rug there. And yeah, this is almost done in here. I think I'm gonna go back over to the what do you call it? The little book area, maybe? I honestly don't remember what I do for the rest of this. This is still like going for like another like 6 minutes or something, and I honestly have no recollection of what I'm doing. Apparently I'm putting plants places. I don't know. Oh yeah, and I put the little cake decals over here at the little, what do you call it? Purchasing area. So I put some cake decals. I look at all of them. And then I only use like 3 of them because some of them just don't work. Oh yeah, and this was a search for a little chalkboard type thing that could, you know, list prices or like what baked goods were fresh that day or whatever. Who knows? But I was searching and searching and searching for something that looks like a bakery type thing. For a second, I did the one that has like a little book on it, but I changed that in the end to just sort of a non-specific squiggle. And I traded out the dirty. Oh yeah, I forgot. I actually did landscaping. Okay, yeah, that's what I was doing for the rest of this. Yeah. But eventually, I traded out the little the book one for like a sort of nondescript scribble because nothing looked like a bakery, but also I really wanted something there. So here's me trying to do a sign. For some reason, I felt like there were way more of the little like Simlish letters and things that you could put on these signs, and there are some, but it really was not what I really sort of wanted. So I end up just using like one of the pre-made like just letters. Yeah, there we go. And I just end up using that because it had the look that I wanted, and I couldn't, like, there was only one little sort of decal that I could put on a sign that looked the way that I wanted it to look. and I couldn't just repeat that one a bunch of times. So, you know, whatever. And here I am looking around like, okay, what to do? Moving some cakes. Oh yeah, I already changed that to the little non-specific swirl. Put a big old picture of some pastries. Then I put like a movie poster of like people sort of in a romance clinch over this this duvet. Oh yeah, and those are custom content little throw pillows I put on there. Yeah, so I figured that fit, you know. A couple little extra pictures, all that good stuff. Scooching the tables, fiddling in the kitchen with the decor, trying to decide what to do because I don't actually want to do. I mentioned landscaping earlier, but I actually just put out a sign. I do landscape this. I hate landscaping so much. I don't know why I hate it so much. It never looks good to me. But yeah, so here's the lighting that I did. Those little globy things, and then the one special one. I was looking for something maybe a little different to put over there, because, you know, you read over there, basically. But I just ended up with putting some standing lamps in. So that worked. And then I'm like, oh, put lights on the back. I don't want a landscape. Then I eventually am like, okay, I give up. I have to landscape now. And I do. So yeah, I was looking for the paling that like matched, or at least looked kind of like the sidewalk. I don't know why they don't have a tile that exactly matches that, but you know what? It's The Sims 4. Who knows? Who knows why people do the things that they do? Yeah, so yeah, I basically just mostly use like lavender and like grass, and it's kind of like really sort of a little bit wild and not quite overgrown, but you know. It's up there. So I basically just use that, and I'm just sort of putting that everywhere. I don't know. I just don't like landscaping for whatever reason. And I actually do some other stuff to this off camera, but the main thing that I do off camera is that I fill the little bakery, the host's area with baked goods. I actually had my sim, you know, come in and bake them, so I filled it with a bunch of different stuff. I actually eventually though did end up just switching it out for some custom content decorative. Like, it looked exactly the same, but they're just custom content decorative versions that The Sims can't eat. Because after I played, at first it was pretty much fine, but when I was playtesting it essentially for a while, Sims were, for whatever reason, there was some kind of glitch happening where they weren't getting their food. And so if they weren't getting their food, they would get up and they would go and just grab like pies and cakes and things out of the displays. So that wasn't okay. That was not okay. So I had to make a change. Oh, chair. Make a change for playability's sake. And I put this giant pink tree here because, you know, why not? And I think all the rest of, what I do here is I'm just gonna put some rocks around it. Then I pave, or I line the walkway with rocks as well, because I couldn't get a fence to go to the edge of the lot. I don't know why they won't let a fence go to the edge of the lot. You used to be able to do that in like The Sims 2, I think. But whatever. So I just line it with rocks and get rid of that little piece of fence there. And I think this is like the last thing, me playing with these rocks before the screenshots. Yeah, here we go. So here are the screenshots. There's the front there. A little bit of close-up. I mean, it's not great landscaping, but, you know, I do what I can. So here's a little cozy nook of reading. The Sims also put away those books. This is before I switched it out for fake baked goods, but, you know, it looks the same. There's a dining room. So pink. The only thing I don't like about that table is that it looks like beat up, but at the same time, it works. It works with this restaurant. So yeah, dining room from a couple of different angles. Being very, very pink and bright. And bathroom. That's the last one. Bye, guys! Oh, and kitchen.